This year needs to be a Pop Douglas year. Everything is pointing to that, right? You said you don't have the quarterback, not an excuse anymore. You've got the quarterback. You say, there's no weapons on this team. That might still be true. But now you've got Josh McDaniels in here. And nobody has utilized a slot receiver better, maybe in the history of the NFL, as an offensive coordinator than Josh McDaniels. And this kind of West Coast offshoot that he's done for so many years in New England. And even for how much they changed and molded their offense around different quarterbacks or quarterbacks at different points in their careers, the slot guy was always valuable. 07, Brady becomes the grip it and rip it kind of offense. Wes Welker, still a monster for a couple years after that, or getting kind of back to the roots of the short intermediate stuff. Julian Edelman, still pretty good at that. Pretty good. Troy Brown was damn good whenever you needed him. And now I look at a guy in Drake Maye who's got, a little bit of Josh Allen in him, I would say. Maybe that's the biggest comparison. He might have a little Patrick Mahomes in him in terms of how he can make plays outside of the pocket. I'm not saying he's going to be Allen or Mahomes, but he's got that kind of skill set to him. And what the guy really needs is a safety blanket. Hunter Henry is fine, old, not the fastest tight end of the world, gets open. And that's okay for him to be a safety blanket for a rookie quarterback on a truly awful football team. But to be a safety blanket for a good quarterback on an improving football team / good football team, why don't we get the speedy wide receiver that everyone says should be the most skilled guy on the team? Why doesn't he be the safety blanket, the slot guy? Pop Douglas. I need him to step up this year. Now, he did lead the Patriots in a couple categories this year, but, that's like being the world's tallest midget. And that's not a commentary on, Pop Douglas not being the tallest guy in the world. But what it is a commentary on is how bad this Patriots receiving room is this year. He is 5'8", he's bigger than Isaiah Thomas and our Isaiah Thomas, but he leads the team, tied for the team lead in receptions. He has a couple touchdowns on the year, leads the team in yak. He had the same amount of receptions as Hunter Henry on 10 less targets. The guy should be open on every play. And that was something with Josh McDaniels for years, no matter who the slot guy was, be it, Troy Brown at the end, Welker, Amendola, Edelman. These guys were always open every damn play. Pop Douglas needs to be that guy. We have seen the flashes. We've seen what he can do with yards after the catch. We can see what he can do with making guys miss. I need him to be the guy. And Julian Edelman, actually, one of those great slot guys, was on 98.5, Zolak and Bertrand, I believe. And Bertrand asked him, is there someone on this team that is like a Julian Edelman? And he was like, it's got to be Pop Douglas, right? It's got to be Pop Douglas. And he said, I don't think we've seen the best of Pop Douglas yet. And I don't think we have either. To the point where if he doesn't step up this year, I don't know if he's untouchable, honestly. Because all you hear about every training camp is people ranting and raving about him. Same thing from his rookie year on. This kid is going to be the next, Edelman, the next Welker, the next Amendola. And you can blame it on the fact that they haven't had good quarterback play the last couple of years outside of a couple of weeks of Drake Maye. The last 3 seasons. You have not had other dynamic guys on the team that are getting open on the outside. So a lot of pressure can be put on Pop Douglas. And the hope is that this year, those things are corrected. I think you are going to have a good quarterback. I think you are going to have better weapons. If it's, T. Higgins or Cooper Kupp in free agency, maybe you run double slot guys the way McDaniels used to do, or you actually have an improved Jalen Polk. Jalen Polk actually plays like he can, deserves to be in the National Football League, or maybe you draft somebody. I think they're going to draft a running back and a tight end. Maybe one of those guys breaks out enough that some of the attention is taken off Pop Douglas. But if you're going to measure how successful this Patriots offense is going to be this year in year one under Josh McDaniels, it's obviously going to take another good Drake Maye year. But I think the next most important thing is, in terms of skill guys, because obviously the offensive line needs a ton of work, and skill guys, the next most important thing behind Drake Maye is Pop Douglas. If Pop Douglas can emerge to be, not even an all-pro receiver, maybe not even a Pro Bowler, but a super dependable slot guy who can still get yards after the catch, that's what a young quarterback needs. Like Brady needed Troy Brown, man. Troy was the best receiver on that 0-1 team. But you need guys like that. And all the guys who came in, Castle for that year needed Welker. When Garoppolo and Brissett had to play those 4 games, they needed Edelman. You need these guys to kind of keep the line moving in terms of a good, dependable safety blanket. Hunter Henry's fine. We love what he's done for this team, but you need to have someone a level higher than that. And Pop Douglas can be that if he steps up this year. And if he doesn't, then you got to see what he's worth. We'll just say that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell me how stupid I am, how pretty I am. I'll take all of them. Sure. Let me know in the comments. Ring that notification bell to get notified every time we're going live here on YouTube, high noon Eastern time, every weekday. And then wherever you get your podcasts, if you're on the go. We appreciate you tuning in. We will see you tomorrow on The Camp Show.
We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter here for some more outrageous Boston sports takes coming to you every weekday at noon Eastern time. And then after that, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are Rogue Media Sports.